Hey everybody, what's up? Once again, it is the Three Wise Crack. Got myself, my name is John. There's Bridget, and then there is Jeff. And you can hit us up on Facebook.com/three, the number three Wise Cracks. Bridget, without further ado, it's your turn.
All right, guys. Well, since we're doing this once a week now, we're going to try and do it on Tuesdays. And coming up this Saturday is this romantic day people like to call Valentine's Day, which, some people believe that you should treat your significant other special every day. But I just wanted to get your take on some things. Flowers, first of all. Do you feel that they're a waste of money? Yes or no?
I mean, yeah. I do only because they go away. I would much rather give something that lasts longer or something that you can enjoy more than just a little bit of sight and a little bit of smell.
Okay.
I
John?
think it's, I think it depends on the person. Some people really enjoy flowers, and some people don't. So you just read the person that you're with, and if they like flowers, then okay, cool. And if they don't, then they probably like something a whole lot more. So get them that.
Well, let me give you a little tip if you do want to do flowers, because I do like flowers every now and then. I think they're really nice because they make you feel special. Um, Seriously, Publix. Go to Publix and they're like $10 for a dozen roses, as opposed to spending $60. Get your own vase, $10 roses, save you 50. But speaking of Valentine's Day, there's a more serious topic. There is a movie coming out. I'm sure you all have heard of it, 50 Shades of Grey. So there's this topic. It's out there because when it comes to religion, people are saying that there is so many things wrong with this book because it's so sex-driven and it's abusive. And what they're saying, there was actually this blog that I read that talked about like 10 things that are wrong, like that talking about how this man is stalking the woman, how it's lust, not love, and all. But one of the things that I found was interesting, it was actually a discussion I was having with someone the other day, was Christian Grey was sexually abused when he was younger. And so as an adult, Christian Grey likes to use whips and different things, bondage with women in his play. So my question to you, this is a discussion I was having with someone, was people who have been raped or sexually abused, do you find that they tend to use sex as for attention as an outcome? Because I don't know, like I feel that it's not thing in books like this. It's almost proving it. I don't know. I'm kind of talking around it. I'm not really. I don't know how to come out and say this, but I feel like it's almost creating a habit. I don't know if you guys agree with that or disagree with that. How do you feel about this movie? Do you think that it's good, that it's teaching women that it's okay to be abused in relationships? I just kind of want your opinions on this.
Yeah. I want to say that I would like to hear from John.
Oh, well, I think there is a difference between abuse and domination. I think domination is something that consenting adults can do if that's what they choose, because I think that's more of a choice. I think when you say abuse, that's not a choice by the person that's being abused.
Right.
I think there's a difference, and I think that, some religious groups that are against this movie and against this book, I don't know if they've ever even explored that side to understand it. So I think it's a criticism, but it's a criticism from people that don't know that lifestyle. And if you choose to do something, I think that if you're a grown adult, you can choose that, and that's between you, whoever you pray to, and the person that you do that with. Now, when it comes to people being abused and therefore acting that out as an adult, I think that can happen. But again, that is a choice of that person seeking that kind of attention or that kind of help to figure out if that's what they're doing. Because I think a lot of adults have different vices, and it's driven by different things that happened to them as a child, and they act out differently. Some that were abused physically as a child or sexually as a child, they don't go and contribute to that abuse as an adult, but they might drink, or they might do some type of other drug or try to find and heal themselves or fill that hole with something else. So it's kind of hard because that's not an exact science to put your finger on it. But I think a lot of people are afraid of this movie because it's opening up another door in America, especially where we have been sexually repressed for eons and eons of time, and I think that people are it's uncomfortable, so they boycott what they don't get.
And I read this book, John, and I wanted to go back because I read it like a couple of years ago, long before like the big craze. So I don't remember, and I had to read a part of it. And I don't think that it's the two consenting adults that's the problem. I think it was that they talked about in the dialogue. I think the woman's name Anna, or she talks about being like scared of him. And how like she's afraid of him, and like how she keeps her relationship from her family, and because of the fear and of the lifestyle and all of these things. So I think like that was the point in the blog, was if you're truly scared of this person and what they're doing, like it's one thing if you are comfortable with it and you know what you're getting into. I think that what their point was this woman was afraid of it, and they're trying to say that it's okay for her to whatever. But anyways, go ahead, Jeff. I'm interested in your opinion.
Well, it's kind of a gray area, no pun intended. It has to, it really does. It has to do with everybody reacts differently, and I think along the lines of what John said, everybody has their vices, and regardless of whether it was some type of abuse, physical abuse when they were little, or even mental abuse for that matter too, because some people will say, well, something happened to me physically where somebody took advantage of me, but it can happen mentally too. So that can cause them to react differently or look for certain things in life. That's a good question, and it's something that maybe, I don't know if anybody's studying that or looking into it, but it might be worth looking at, because is it something that necessarily needs to be fixed? I don't know, because as we all know, sex isn't a bad thing as long as it's two consenting adults and you're married. That's the way it's written. But I think, again.
Well, let me ask you this question: is this something that you plan on taking your lady to?
No, and you want to know something? When it first came out, or when I knew it was coming out, I was kind of like, okay, no big surprise. The series were such a big deal, but I think even she would tell you today that if I said, hey, honey, you want to go see 50 Shades of Grey? It's out now. I think she would be like, in fact, she's over there now. She's shaking her head. She goes, no. Nope, no interest.
Well, when the books came out, they were calling it mommy porn. Like, that's what everything on Facebook, everyone was just, yeah.
That's exactly what it is. To me, I'm not pressed about this movie. I really wasn't pressed about the book. It just reminded me of all the other love novels that sit in the grocery stores. And if you open, and it's funny because for the longest when I was a kid, you see all those books at the end aisle displays at the grocery store, and you're like, oh, okay, romance novels is what they called them. But then when you actually, as an adult, open those same books up and read them, you're like, oh, this is not a romance novel. Right. This is literature porn, is what it is. So that's what this book is to me. I think it does still open up the doorway to talking about dominatrix and things like mates and submissives and that whole ordeal. But this is something that it's just on a bigger stage, and now they got the movie, and a lot of women are. We're giving away prize packs up here for Girls' Night Out for the movie advanced screening. It's like the women are loving it, and it's their way to be naughty, because I think that's more acceptable now, to be a little naughty. It's okay.
It's very true. Well, speaking of getting lucky, I think that Jeff has something else he wants to talk to us about.
Nice. Great transition. Yeah, if you're lucky, be thankful, because that's one of the things that a lot of people wish for is luck. However, I just recently found out that luck or good luck or great luck isn't always as lucky as you would think it is. I found out that, of course, with the big lottery that's coming up, the Powerball is up to $450 million. I was thinking, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Can you imagine winning $450 million? What would you ever do with that? But looking at last year's statistics, not just on Powerball, but lotteries in general, would you guys believe that there is over $4 billion with a B, $4 billion that was never collected from winning tickets.
Wow.
What do you mean?
Well, here's a lot of, and this goes for scratch-offs all the way up to Powerball tickets. That what happens is people will go, they'll buy a ticket, and they'll look at the numbers and say, "Oh, I didn't get all 6, so I didn't win anything," and they'll throw their ticket. That ticket could have been $1 ticket, a $5 ticket, a $10, a $100 ticket, so on and so forth. People literally throw them in the garbage. Or, believe it or not, according to the research, there were just over 300 tickets that were valued at $1 million or more that no one ever came forward for. 300 tickets valued at $1 million or more. A total of $4 billion. I know. And keep in mind, when I say $4 billion, that's just last year. That's not like for the last 10 years. That's just for last year. People didn't come forward to claim a ticket. I mean, can you imagine being lucky enough to pick the right numbers, but then all of a sudden you didn't even bother looking and you threw it away and you never claimed your ticket?
Okay, tell me again where all this money comes from. Like, how is the lottery funded?
The lottery is funded by people like you and me that go down to the store and buy a ticket. I mean, I've watched, when I've gone into little mini marts, and John, you've probably seen it too, people will go in and they'll buy 20, 30 scratch-off tickets sometimes at a time, and I'll watch them scratch them all down within seconds and throw them in the trash. Now, I spoke to a lady one time that I saw digging through the trash to pick those tickets out, and I said, "Why? What are you digging in the trash for lottery tickets for?" She goes, "Because people throw away winners all the time and they never notice it."
You just said it.
That's what it is, and it's insane to think that, hey, you could have had $1 million ticket in your pocket and thought, "Oh, I probably didn't win it. Those aren't the numbers I picked, or not what I remembered." Or maybe that scratch off, you read it wrong, and when you threw it away, OMG. So, good luck isn't always good luck. I always say, wish and hope for the best. But that's kind of. And speaking of Powerball, John, I know you were thinking Powerball, right?
Yeah, I've been thinking Powerball because I got all my Powerball tickets. I even got some Mega Million tickets because if everybody's playing the Powerball, then I figure, you know what, Mega Million, that's 60 million. I can deal with that. God, please. But yeah, Powerball's like 450 million. The cash option's like 300 million. Just thinking though, say you hit the Powerball, like if God bless me with the Powerball, do you tithe? Are you supposed to tithe that? Like, and then because the church or some religions are really against, lottery and gambling, should they even take the tithe offering? And I know that most churches that I've been accustomed to go to would say, yes, we're going to take it because we're going to do good with the money. But if you are against gambling on Sunday, on Wednesday when the Powerball numbers come out, that's tomorrow, by the way, should you be able to take the tithe from somebody that might hit the Powerball, since that's going to be 300? Well, actually, you got to tithe off of the 450 that you really got, so then that's a lot of money for a church. Just one.
What? I mean, we're supposed to, yeah. I mean, basically, if you're winning, that's kind of like your income because you're getting it as a payment in general. So I would imagine you should be tithing that, but
10%, $150 million.
Right. Yeah. And here's the thing: do you take that 10% and give it all to one church, or do you divide it up amongst a bunch of great churches?
That's a great idea too.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. As much as I love the churches that I go to, because I do go to a couple, I would probably split it up amongst the churches throughout the area just because. Share the wealth.
Yeah.
Should we take it?
I'd be sending some to Rome.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the places that I go to the church, yeah, I'm pretty positive. They'd be like, yep, we're ready. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Bridget, how about you?
I mean, I never really thought about that. I'm pretty sure they would be okay with receiving. I mean, I don't feel there's. I don't feel like. I guess it still is gambling. I don't feel like you're at a slot machine though. You know, I don't feel like you're at a card table. But I guess they still equivalated it with the same thing. But don't see it. I don't see it the same. But maybe what if you hit millions there too? Would they not accept? I don't know. I think that they would have no problem with it. I don't know. I think it would be. I think that it would be wonderful. Chris and I have talked about this, like not with the gambling side, but if fortunate in life to be able to be successful, he said to even give like $1,000 a week at church. He said how wonderful would that be to be successful, just to be able to give that amount of money. That's just really hoping and praying that God blesses us, but just to be able to give that back. So, I mean, I think that should you? I mean, that's like an absurd, high, ridiculous number. I don't think anybody actually gives 10%? But I think a certain percentage, even 1% of that, is pretty darn nice. So, I don't know.
I will tell you this, that I think that there's a lot of churches out there, like John, like you said, that might be against. Normally, they're against taking money for money that was earned via gambling. However, in this particular case, I might think they'll go, we're going to just cover up the rules for this one because 10% of $300 million. Yeah, I mean, and if you think about it, the lottery really is the only legal way to gamble in many different states. And just so you all know, the Powerball, even though nobody won the Powerball just recently, and now it's up this much, there were 5 $1 million winners. One of them was in Florida, and one there was in Missouri, by the way. So
it's me.
Yeah. So you never know. You never know.
Okay, well, that's some good news. But speaking of some other good news, for Catholics, you have a week until Lent starts. Ash Wednesday is next Wednesday, so you have a week to figure out what you're going to give up or do extra. So, if you're going to give up fast food, get there every day for the next week. So that's my good.
I got good news.
Oh yeah?
I'm not Catholic, so I don't have to give up anything. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that might be good news for you, but
Woo!
You don't have to give up anything.
I know.
Is that your good news, John?
Oh yeah, that was it. I am about to purchase a handgun. I went to the shooting range last week. That was fun and awesome. And I found this out in the state of Missouri. You can purchase a shotgun or a rifle with an out-of-state license, which I have. But if you want to purchase a handgun, you must get a state ID or a driver's license from the state of Missouri. I didn't know that. But now I got my Missouri state ID on the way, and they gave me the paper copy. So now I can go and get my .380 or my .40 caliber gun that I want.
Okay, so I gotta ask, why are you getting one now?
I enjoyed the shooting range so much, and I'm getting one with the laser scope on it. And I didn't want to go in there and rent their .22 again and look like not a man. So I went and got like a little bit bigger gun, a .380.
Okay, and did you already make the purchase, or are you still about to?
No, about to.
Okay. Let me suggest, if you would like something that's easy to carry for concealment, but yet very accurate and easy to take care of, Ruger makes a really nice gun called an LCP 380. Holds about 6 rounds in the magazine and 1 in the pipe if you want. Or my personal preference that I carried when I was in law enforcement was a Glock. You can get a 9mm that fits really nice for concealment as well. But I'll send you the info on that.
Guns in church.
Wow. You have some suggestions for John. I'm sure he would love some.
Oh, absolutely. Make those suggestions for John so he can make the right choices when he's getting a hand cannon.
I don't want to be overcharged. Give me the prices that you should pay for the guns. I'm not a gun expert. I'm a novice. I just taught somebody what that word was this week. Anyway.
Nice, nice. My good news is, and I just found this out for all those people out there that say that they can't go to karaoke night because they can't carry a tune. You can say that no more, because it is an absolute fact that people can carry a tune, with the exception of an extreme small amount of people that are actually tone deaf. Now, there was a big study that was put on, and this study was put on by one of the universities, and they said that when we're all kids, if you think about it, when we learn things growing up, we learn lullabies, we learn our ABCs, we learn nursery rhymes growing up, and we all sing. And if you've ever noticed, the majority of little kids can sing those rhymes in tune, you know, maybe an octave higher or octave lower, depending upon their voices, but can sing that stuff. But as they get older, they might not sing as much, and they fall out of practice. So what they did was the university studied a bunch of kids from kindergarten, then looked at them again in 6th grade, then looked at them again in college. Those that kept up singing sang beautifully. Those that didn't keep up singing were off key. So they said all it is practice. They said if you sit down at a piano today and you try to punch out chopsticks, within a couple hours you'll probably have the basics down, you'll be able to do it. All it is taking an instrument, which is your voice, your vocal cords, and putting them back in tune. So I can now look at my wife and tell her she can go to karaoke, because she always goes, I can't sing. Well, yes, you can. It just takes a little bit of practice to do so. As a matter of fact, just for you watching, what to do is they said take one song, record yourself singing it, then practice that song every other night for a month. By the end of the month, not only should you be on key, but you never know what results you might get. You might be able to quit your day job and be like Carrie Underwood.
Right. That's why I do church songs. That's how I sing key.
Trick songs? Auto-tuned or what?
No.
Church songs.
Church songs. Yeah.
Nice.
Those who not sing, do not listen to Jeff. Don't do it. Don't quit your job. You need that job. You ain't hit the 450 million. You need that job.
Nice.
Well, thanks for watching, guys.
We are the Three Wisecracks. You can find us on Facebook. You can go to facebook.com/3Wisecracks.
Hopefully by next week will be the $450 million Wisecracks, because I'm a hit.
Woo woo.
That'd be nice. Good luck.